Welcome to Fat Kings Friday for August 2016. I am Phil Olson.
I'm Pablo Escobar.
Welcome to the show.
Did you post the links and stuff? I didn't even think to do that.
Yeah, I did. I posted them, and they are all up and out. So we've got all of 0 viewers right now. So
that's perfect. It's exactly what I expected.
Right.
Because we do the show so frequently.
Right, and always on a Friday night when everybody's around.
Yeah, getting I guess all the kids are back in school now and stuff, so it should.
Yeah, getting there anyway.
Should start settling back in, but
yeah. I know you had putting all your kids back to school must have been hard.
It was. It's rough. It's rough getting them off. I'm so sad. I take that picture every year.
That was classic.
Yeah, because it's just it's crazy because since we had all our kids so young, they're all grown and gone, but all of our friends our age all have kids,
right?
That are young. They're like 5 and 6, and they're young. It's kind of weird.
Yeah, that's been pretty easy this year for me. I just, it's just like stepping right back into the old pattern because both the kids in the same schools. So we leave at the same time. I drop them at the same time. I go to work. It just smooth. Yeah, I don't know.
Right.
It just seems like we're back in it. But it does. I do like the structure of it all in the sense of being able to just like get stuff done when I get home at the end of the day. So I get home and it's like, okay, we got to have dinner. We got to do this project, that thing. You're doing homework. You're doing this chore. I got to fix that. So we'll just see how it keeps going. But it feels like it's settling back into a pattern. But
right. Yeah,
it probably won't be
all gone. All
yeah,
gone.
It won't be go on the weekends either because it'll have to structure it a little more. And like we went to water slides last Thursday before school started, and then like over the weekend we do something, and then like now things will start to calm down a little bit. So
yeah, well, we're gonna have the my stepdaughter and her baby's daddy, and then the grandbaby are gonna move here. I guess in December.
Oh really?
Yeah, so they're supposed to stay here for a couple months. This is the deal that I agreed to while they find a place here. So that'll be cool though. So have the grandkid. So it'll be kind of like having it. I'm just excited to get her here because next year she'll be able to start jiu-jitsu.
Oh, there you go. Hey, are you are you gonna keep the condo in Colorado Springs, or are you gonna?
Yeah, well, it's being rebuilt because it was in a fire. So it's a townhouse. So it wasn't ours. It was the one directly behind it, caught on fire, but the smoke damaged it, and it took forever. And then they decided, well, they just need to rebuild it to be structurally sound.
Wow.
Well, insurance doesn't cover all of that, right? It only covers so long. So now the kids are just displaced. They have gotten apartments or staying with friends, and it's like, well, okay. And they said, we were like, how long? They said 10 months, a year to rebuild. Yeah, it's like, fuck. So anyway, yeah, we're keeping it, but if somebody wants to rent it, they just can't stay there.
Well, I tell you what, this market's really hot for rental. So once you do get it back, you'll get top dollar for it. I mean, even it doesn't matter, especially being new.
And it's, it's not the greatest part of town, but it's not a horrible part of town.
Right.
But yeah, I would like to just dump it, and we might just do that, especially because Jacob will have found the place. He has an apartment, and he'll probably stay there. And then the kids and Stephanie, they're moving down here. So
I thought Jake bought a house.
My Jake bought a house. Her Jacob.
Oh, yeah. Oh, okay, got it.
Same name, same age, different parents.
Totally, I forgot totally about that. Yeah.
Different biological change.
Not versus and then my Jake, so let's confuse it a little more. So.
Yeah, there's a lot of Jakes.
Yeah. So what's been going on for you, sir? You've been MIA and
yeah, I don't know, a lot. I've been traveling. So I was in Europe for a couple weeks, and I think I was getting ready to do my super fight, right?
Yeah.
So I did that and I won. So it was a double submission match, so you can like get lucky and just beat him once. You had to actually submit him twice, and I got him right at the end of the first round. I think I got with a choke and at the end of the first round, and then an arm bar about a minute into the second round.
So, do you think that?
So.
Do you think did he just make a mistake the second round, or was he fatigued from the first round and the second round's tougher because you guys are both more tired? And
well, I mean, you're both tired. You kind of can feel when somebody gives up, and it felt like I was really well. There was times where he felt like he had given up, but if you watch, because both the videos are up on Facebook. But the final one, he had a choke in. He was actually choking me, and I had made the decision that I was just gonna I'll pass out. I'm not gonna tap because I could tell he was really winded. So I thought, well, I'm just gonna wait, and I think his arms are gonna burn out before I pass out. So my head looks like it's gonna explode. It's bright red. I mean, he has a choke fully in. I mean, it was, and he just loosened it enough, and I was able to pop the arm out, and you could just feel that.
That was his last push.
He was yeah. He was like, there's nothing I can do. So I got it. It's like an inside arm bar is kind of an unorthodox way of getting it, and I beat him that way. But I think he had given up at that point.
Well, that's it's exciting. I mean, you've really taken off with that, man. That's something I still like. It's still on my list of like shit I want to get into. I really I'm gonna have to make a conscious. Like, I'm going to have to make room for it. And then when I hurt my shoulder, I was like, I'm going to hold off because it's still almost 100% healed, but I still have a little bit of fatigue in there and some in the forearm. But I think once that's gone, I'm gonna have to make it a priority to check into it more.
Just be used to that pain you're feeling right now. You're going to feel that all the time.
Yeah, wow, that's my fair. I'm just getting old.
You're going to feel that way all the time. Yeah, because your shoulders, all your joints get cranked on so much that, it's going to be sore for a while. But and then so besides that, getting the pool done and trying to finish moving in, and I don't remember where we left the last show off, so it's hard for me to remember.
I don't either.
What all was going on? But
I could probably go look.
It's not a big deal. But I mean, the thought I was having with this one was just kind of maybe talk a little bit about where we were at the beginning of all this, and then kind of where we are now, and then what are your thoughts for going forward. But just so everybody knows, this might get interrupted because we might get a phone call.
Might get a phone call,
and then I don't know what the fuck I'll do. So hopefully we get one person viewing, and they start asking questions.
Now, okay.
Then they can start asking questions.
Well, we did this like 5 months ago, I think. So it's really timely.
Yeah.
So right now we've got for sure. I know we got. VSG redesigned me and Michael VSG. We know Mike, of course. I'm not recognizing the very small thumbnail of VSG redesigned me, but kind of looks familiar, but I can't be sure. So,
very good.
Yeah.
No questions, though.
No questions. Just hey guys.
Well, they can save it. They can save it in case you disappear.
Right. Exactly.
So, I went back and I'd watched just happenstance about we were talking about weight loss surgery and just ripping it apart and just how horrible and what is wrong with people that have to mutilate their bodies in order to not shovel shit into their face. I think was the verbiage that was used.
Yes.
What are your thoughts about that now?
I still shovel shit in my face. I just do smaller amounts. This is the problem. I still have the same problem. I just can only do so much of it now. So actually, I'm pretty good about it. I do still, even when I'm off the reservation, I do go in the order of protein and, work my way toward the shitty stuff. So by then I'm pretty full. So it's been working pretty good.
But do you feel that weight loss surgery is it worth it? Is it worth the risk? And then is it taking the easy way out, or do you think the only way to lose that much weight is to have surgery?
I won't say it's the only way, but it's the most probably the most successful way. I mean, could you do it on your own? Yeah, you probably could, but I couldn't. I mean, I busted ass for 2 years, and to go down to that low calorie for me, I had to go to weight loss surgery. There's just no way around it. So
yeah. Well, they were saying that was like If you're more than 100 pounds overweight, you have to have surgery.
That's pretty much what my
keep it
surgeon
successful. Yeah, to keep it successfully off. I mean, there's always an exception, right? I mean, there's always that one person here or there that does it, but yeah. So I guess we just kind of eat our words on that one.
I think we've been eating words on that since we've openly admitted that we were haters for a long time. So it was it's not. It's something I do again, and I would have done it sooner. And I don't, if anything, I think that I still feel like I'm in that place where I still have to struggle though with it. Like if I want to, and it's not so much the physical struggle, it's the mental struggle. I still got to when I want to lose weight, I still got to get super diligent and militant. And it's just really hard for me mentally to get in that space sometimes,
Yeah. Yeah. I think to stay successful, you have to have some activity that you do. That's strenuous. I'm not going to name stuff because I'll piss people off. So, I mean, as long as you're pushing yourself, and it's something that I don't think just going to a gym and lifting weights is going to do it. I think you have to have an activity, whether it's jogging or kayaking or biking or jiu-jitsu or basketball or racquetball or just something really active that really does it for you. I think that's part of the reason that Pete, sleeve rocker, that he has done so well is because biking, that motivates him so much. I mean, yeah, the weights are good. That's what builds his muscle, but all that weight loss and leanness is coming from the 800 miles he bikes every day.
Yeah. I got to agree because since I hurt my shoulder, I haven't been as active on either side. And I've noticed that now that I'm back in the gym, I'm really having to force myself to go back to cardio to kind of start burning again and getting, just really pushing myself hard, because with the weightlifting, I can't go really heavy anyway, because I'm still healing. I don't want to hurt it again. So I'm having to force myself to go extreme on the other side to and it has made a difference. I can tell. I think what happened was I was working out so aggressively so many days a week that I could afford to I could afford to fuck up what I was eating every now and again, or a lot, a lot more than I probably realized, but it never hurt me. But as soon as I wasn't working out, all of that fucking up caught up to me, and I kind of saw, I kind of saw it was more of a struggle. I had to really be mindful of what I was eating. So
yeah, you definitely have to adjust it. Yeah, you have to adjust a lot, but I still don't know. And that was something else that was in one of the videos. It's easy to lose weight. You just, you eat 3,500 less calories and you lose 1 pound. But that doesn't seem to be the case. I just don't believe it to be true. And there was that one study that said it was 7,500. To lose a pound, you got to burn. To put it on is 35, but to take it off, it's 75. It was one.
I can see that because I can put it on faster than I can take it off. There's no problem.
And then it's trying to figure out the water weight and the bloat factor that's there whenever you eat new stuff. And but anyway, so that was one of our statements. So do you think that was a true statement, or were we wrong there too?
In general, I think there are people who, they want to drop a couple pounds. They just tighten up their eating a little bit, and they maybe go to the gym a couple more days a week or an extra day a week. I'm sure that there are normal people out there that do that. For me, that's not enough. I've got to be hyper militant. Exactly the kinds of foods I'm eating matter, how much of those foods I'm eating matter, and whether I'm working out matters. All those factors come into play. So I think to different degrees, I think it's not so simple. I think there's stair-step kind of mentality there where each person's on a different level of that staircase, as far as what they've got to do to get the weight off. So,
okay. I'm just trying to think of relative points that we had talked about. Something else we had talked about a little bit was set points, but we weren't talking about them as set points at the time. We were just talking about how it's weird that you would, when you gain weight, it's you can eat anything and you won't go over 260. But then once you break 260, you can eat anything and you won't go over 270. And then, you know what I'm saying? And then you just, there's a breakthrough, and then there's the set points where your body gets comfortable and it'll always try to establish itself at that weight. So, it turns itself up quicker and it turns it down. But I feel my body does it at this lighter weight. If I sit at a weight long enough, if I'm at a weight for 6 months, it'll be easy for me to maintain that weight for a while.
Yeah. I'm in the same boat. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was 216. Then it was 223. And then it just popped like all of a sudden to like 228. Like, I'm like, oh shit, that's too high. I can't do that. Like, but I'm having a hard time getting it to go back under 228. Like, I've been coming down like each week, but it's been like a quarter of a pound each week. Like, there's a very small drop off, but it's very small, you know. And so it's like, and I just, if I want it to go faster, I'm gonna have to be super militant. I'm gonna have to stay super militant for a while, get down to a new set point, stay at that point for a long time, and then I can probably adjust again. But right now, it's just struggle. Everything's
right. Yeah, and I think mine's the same way. But once I get in that mode, and I'm working out constantly, and I do take a few days off, or I do splurge, I do notice that it doesn't impact me as much. Like, your body kind of revs up and it stays there. It doesn't. It takes a little while to calm down.
right.
Is the way it seems to me, anyway.
No, I agree. No, I totally do. I'm just hoping to kind of get back to that point. So it's like, okay, cool. You know, I'm back down to a comfortable weight, and then I'm reset at that new set point, and I'm good to go. So I'm getting questions finally here. So they're coming in on all fronts. So,
well, shit, there was a question I had for you, and then I fucking forgot it when you said that. I don't remember. Oh, how much you weigh right now?
right now, 228 even.
Nice.
So
I weigh less than you again, and that makes me happy.
damn it. Yeah, I got to. I really want to get back to about 220. I think 220 is where I was happy.
Yeah. That jumps around for me, because like I hung out at 232 for a long time, and that felt good. But then just on a fluke, I got back down to 217. And I was like, oh, this feels pretty good.
Yeah. So
now I try to stay in that it's like 219 to 223 range, because that's where I feel the best, especially working out, training and stuff. That feels the best for me.
yeah, I think 215 to 220 for me would be, if I can get back there and stay there, I think I'd be good there. So yeah, for sure. I mean, last time I was 215, I wasn't as strong, so I don't know that I'll go that far. That's why I'm saying 220, but we'll see. We'll see when I get there. So
yeah.
So
what's the questions you got?
So Mel, who's watching, this feels like old times. Mel wants to know, how young is too young for ESG? Personal opinion. For example, if you had an overweight teenage child, would you want them to have it, or any WLS surgery? I guess.
I mean, if a kid there's a circumstance where if you have a morbidly obese child, like if it's a health thing where they have to have it due to health, then have to be extremely overweight, and there probably has to be some sort of medical complication to cause it. Just because kids can't make choices to get them to a fat state. So as long as you're being a proper parent, then there's going to be something medical.
Yeah, I'd see. Like, I would think too, like if you're like type 2 diabetes, all these problems, like they're like literally having, you know, medical issues, can't breathe, CPAP, the whole bit. Yeah, then do it. Whatever it takes to get them that 1 year of help. But at the same time, you got to learn those skills still, right? So,
and then I have kind of an odd answer to what age should somebody have it. Like if we talk just outside of that, right? Those extreme circumstances where a 4-year-old is 300 pounds. I don't think that it matters at what age you have it past, let's say 16 or 17, because most of the damage that's going to happen to you is going to be mental, and that's going to have already taken place by then. So what you're trying to fix with the surgery initially, the mental stuff, it doesn't matter at that point, because you're just what age you want to deal with the mental fuckery. So if you feel mature enough to handle the mental side of it, I mean, the physical side of it, I think you can handle at any age, but to handle the mental aspect of it, I think that's dependent on the person. But yeah, the damage that you're trying to fix is already done, so it really doesn't matter.
Yeah, I mean, I could still have, like when I got up to 228, 229, I felt like 332 all over again. Like I was like, well, here we go. Like I got no control. I just felt like I don't want to I don't want to put a gun to my head to like, suffer and have to like just drink shakes for weeks on end and stuff. I don't want to go back to that and blah, 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 blah. Like it was really hard to get motivated. I really, I think I had to get the exercise back in to get all the positive endorphins going again, to get me motivated again, to kind of like, it's such a weird mental thing. So
Right.
I don't know. I can't explain it. But I guess I don't have to this audience. Yeah.
I've seen, like, just flipping through some of the videos or some of the posts on in the WLS YouTube addicts, like people are doing pouch tests and stuff still. And I'm like, oh, fucking
Kirk, and you love those.
oh, fucking hell. What is wrong with you people? I don't know. It's just weird. Like it's just quick fix. And there's a quick aspect to it, but it's so long term to get to the fixed part. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, you get quick, but it's not fixed. It's just like you're progressing through different things. It takes years. You're still going to have to put in the same amount of time, whether it's because you got to put in the mental work, the physical work, dealing with the regain, dealing with how to eat normal again. Cause it's just, yeah, it's not quick.
Yeah. Cause you feel like, oh, well, I'm down and I work out and I can have a little bit of this, a little bit of that, blah, 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 blah. And, it's just like you're never going to be, if you have that metabolism and you have that reaction to certain types of foods, your body's not going to stop having those reactions just because you lost it all. You're still going to have, it's still going to be a trigger. I make carbs for me are not my friend. I can't get too many carbs in or I start gaining. That's just the way it is. So, like Michael May was saying, it took him 7 months to get 20 pounds of his regain off. That's crazy.
So that brings up a good thing that I had mentioned, and we agreed on it, and everybody's agreed on it at one point. But that was if you come to me, tell me, oh, I need to lose 10 pounds, I'm gonna fucking throttle you in the fucking face.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, who is gonna bitch about needing to lose 10, 15 pounds? But now, after you get to that stage where you're at the end, you've hit goal and you regain a little bit, or you decide goal needs to be a little bit lower, and you're struggling for that 10 pounds, like, that 10 pounds feels the same as the other 120.
Oh, I think it's worse. I actually think it's way worse because remember, at the closer I got the goal, I remember thinking it was harder and harder just to lose a pound a week. Even like sometimes I'd lose nothing. Like I'm like, what the fuck, man? Like I'm doing everything right. Like my body's just fighting me, and now I feel like that's the same thing. For like me to like drop 5 pounds back in the day, I could have dropped it over a weekend. Just be cool for a weekend. For me to lose 5 pounds right now and not lose a bunch of muscle on top of it, like that's probably a month ordeal, maybe more. Right.
And that's where people talk about, oh, lose a pound a week or whatever is really good. That is really good for a normal sized person losing weight. Yeah. A pound a week is not good for somebody who is 200 pounds overweight.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, in a pound a week, but in order to lose a pound a week, I have to be militantly clean eating the whole time, and to lose 10 of those, I got to do it for 10 weeks. Like, what I'm saying? Like, I have to be super tight for 10 weeks. That's so hard to do when you're like, oh, we're having barbecue and we're having a party and we're doing it. And like, not that I'm eating quantities that are seen and thrown up in the bathroom. I'm just eating normal foods. And maybe I have like a hot dog or I have a thing or, a couple of drinks, but that's a lot of calories for me. For me, that's a ton of calories. So, man.
Yeah, that's what gets me in trouble is drinking calories. I do like love smoothies, man. You saw my picture where I can get some crazy with smoothies, but yeah, man, it's a lot of calories, and yeah, there's fiber, but you're still getting those huge spikes in insulin whenever you're taking on that much sugar.
Yeah, no, and alcohol, same thing. I mean, I don't care if you're drinking vodka, you're drinking up of it. It's 50 calories a shot or 70 calories a shot or whatever. So. So
that's something else that is changed. Because so I saw Kirk's question. So Kirk says, "Well, what if anything does TJ miss about being closely connected to WLS community?" You're laughing about something else, not this question.
No, I'm laughing about this question.
Oh, okay.
I can think of an answer, but I'm not gonna.
I mean. I can't say anything that wouldn't be narcissistic or selfish. I mean, what I liked about the community was the feedback, was feeding off other people and the interactions and the comments, interacting with people on comments on videos, interacting with people on that. And it was just that feeding off the feedback and the comments and the attention of it. I mean, anybody right? Everybody likes attention, and anybody who's putting out videos consistently and constantly, and they are marking that box as public, is somebody who wants attention. Otherwise, that box, if you're just doing it for you, that box does not get checked public. It is a private and it's a personal thing, and you keep a video blog or vlog or whatever the fuck you want to call it. But as soon as you make it public, there's no other reason to do that than to get attention for it, and you can make it, well, friends and family might want to view it. Well, that's fine. And you just mark it unlisted and you share that with them. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's other ways to do it. So I guess the attention of it, I miss.
Somebody just put in the I'm sorry, I got to address this. I'm not going to say their name because this is going to be a big kind of like, this is like this is so pissing me off right now. I don't know why. This person who shall go unnamed and nobody shall say their name says, shout me out and I will sub and like. I don't give a shit if you sub or like, and now you're not getting a mention. Move, you're gone. Thank you.
That's awesome.
That drives me
as
nuts.
I was saying that.
Yeah, as you're saying it.
I know some people who would take you up on that offer. So that's the thing that I miss. And my thing messed up again, so I'll be right back.
It came back.
No, but mine's messed up now.
Like,
so
now you sound like
slow.
Man, you're talking slow right now.
I know. What did he say? Hey, dog, did you see the size of that chicken?
Hey, man. Wow, man.
Oh, this is bad. I'll be right back.
Oh, okay. Oh my God. Yeah, I don't know what happens. His connection, he just suddenly goes sideways, and he starts sounding like he got hit in the neck with a tranquilizer dart. So that's kind of where my struggle's been. I think still with everything is like I still feel like I'm like struggling to get weight off. Like that's the big challenge for me right now. Like I don't know. I still got that same mental messed up kind of picture of it all. So
absolutely.
But there was another question. What did I say?
Can you hear me all right?
Yeah, you sound good.
Okay, cool. Right.
You don't feel like you got hit in the neck with a tranquilizer dart anymore. When you go watch the playback, you'll find it's funny.
Yeah.
But does pain meds affect y'all stronger after having surgery? That's from Michael.
No.
As well.
No.
I don't notice it either. If anything, like what is it? Inflammation stuff like
ibuprofen.
Yeah, ibuprofen to leave. Like I will pack on a shit ton of water if I take that stuff. Like my weight will go up immediately as soon as I take it. And then like I stop taking it, and then I'll just pee for days on end until it all goes away. But it freaked me out because I was taking a lot for my shoulder, and my weight just started climbing, and I was like, what the fuck's going on?
Yeah, I would think that there would be a change in if you're taking something like OxyContin or, one of the harder core pain pills that has a coating on it, because the coating has to break down. That happens in your stomach. So if it's passing from your stomach to your intestine faster, you're not going to get the full absorption. So I could see how it wouldn't, but overall it shouldn't, because absorption happens in the intestine, not the stomach.
Yeah, no. I don't know, man. It affects me. I definitely.
You keep getting these little grins, man. It's making me.
Oh, because I'm reading all the questions. Some of that, and the person who shall not be named replied back, and I gave him a wink just to be funny. But so
is his name Jay?
No. If he was, he'd be blowing up the chat right now.
Yeah, he'd be going huge.
He'd be going big. So you're coming up on a milestone here in another month.
I don't know, a month I'll hit 3 years.
3 years. Yep. I just
how was that? I watched your video, but it looked like it was kind of a normal video. You didn't go through too much.
I mean, I don't know. I put at the end there. I put like the measurements and stuff like that, just to compare and contrast. But I was a little side by sides freaked me out a little bit. Not bad way. Just like, okay, yep, 215 looked better, or for me, like in my head, whether that's reality or not, it's real relevant. But yeah. So I don't know. I wasn't in a good. I don't know. I'm like in a good space life wise. Like things are where I mean, the things I set out to do, I did. Right. And so, but on the other side of that, I don't want that to distract me and have me lose sight take my eye off the prize here and like end up 230, 235, 240, 240. You know what I'm saying? I don't want that.
Right,
yeah. So.
Yeah, you can easily snowball, but 3 years was my big, what was it? It was 15 months. Because that was what was always preached to us, was the 15-month kind of golden 15 months, right? You can do, like, whatever you do in 15 months is where you're going to be forever. Like, at the end of 15 months, whatever weight you're at, so that's going to be the lowest you'll probably ever be. So this is probably the best you'll ever do to maintain is where you're at after 15 months. I don't know how true that is, but for me, it's true. I weigh more now, right? My lowest weight was 207. Now I'm 10 to 15 pounds off that, but I think I'm healthier now, because you put more muscle back on and you just get healthier. So, but I think that was right on for me. Anyway.
Yeah, 202 was my lowest, and it was too low. Like I felt like I looked like a bobblehead. I really do. That was just, I don't know. It was just too much. And then about 210 is what my goal was. I got back to 210. I still felt a little like lean, and 215 after I worked out for a little bit, and then even 223 I was okay with. I was like, it doesn't leave me a lot of wiggle room, but I feel pretty good here, and clothes fit well. I feel good. I feel like I look okay. Like I felt strong. I felt healthy. Mm-hmm. I was fine with that. Just I'm like, you don't have a lot of wiggle room. But as it went over 225, which sounds so stupid because it's only a couple pounds, right? But but I was like, wait a minute, that's the red flag mark. Like you gotta pay attention now. And it boom jumped up to 227, 228, 229 real quick. Like just boom, like new set point. I was like,
I think there's a delay. So I'll say it's for me. I can't tell because I don't observe everybody, right? But for me personally, it's 3 days. So if I have a 3-day lag in my what I eat as far as weight gain. So if I start going hardcore today, I won't even begin to see anything from that, like some water weight coming down, anything like that for 3 days. Just like if I ate something crappy, tomorrow I might not see a weight gain. Next day I might not, but like that third day, all of a sudden, boom, I'll see like 3 pounds. It's just weird. My body works on a 3-day cycle.
Yeah, mine too, though. Reverse, though. Like if I want to clean out my eating, it takes 3 days to clean it out, and then I'll start seeing results. But
right, yeah.
I gotta stay clean for 3 days to get the cravings to go away, and they're all like just cravings. I'm not hungry. I'm not really physically hungry. I just crave stuff. Like I crave sugar. I crave. I obviously know my sugar's too high if I'm craving it. So I'm like, okay, I got to back it down.
I'll do like splurge weeks. Like people have cheat days. I'll have cheat weeks. Like I just don't. I still have restriction. I mean, I guess I'm lucky.
Oh, I do too. Yeah.
It's still there. I mean, I still can't finish a hamburger. I still can't finish, like, even if I get like a 6-inch sub, I can't finish the whole thing. Now, if I'm hammered or super hungry, I mean, there are situations where I can do it, but just a normal meal, if I sit down, it's not happening. So my restrictions.
Yeah, I think I still I really pushed it one night. I'm like, I'm going to have one more blank, whatever it was. I don't remember what it was. And I ate it, and I knew I shouldn't have eaten it, and I ate it anyway. And I was like walking around, tapping them. You know that walking around, tapping on your sternum, praying you don't throw up. You're like, oh, God, this hurts. And you're just waiting for a burp to come out to kind of get you past it. I'll never do it again, I promise. So I kept my gold star, but it was not fun. But but I still have that restriction. It's like it's there. So so I am thankful for that. So I just think I gotta work out hard. Yeah, get back to working out the more aggressive kind of cardio stuff. And I mean, I was surprised. I did really well in those classes. I did really well in the running. I mean, I hate running, but I did well for me. And I hung in there. I mean, it wasn't like I was killing it. I wasn't leading the class or anything, but I stuck with it the whole time through. So I was like, sweet. And the only time I ever would stop is anytime I had any pain in my shoulder. I'm like, whoops, stop. That's as far as I'm going today with the shoulder work. I'll have to do something else, So if we started doing push-ups or something and it hurt, I stopped. Or I dropped to my knees and I did them from my knees just to take the weight off my shoulder. So,
right. Yeah. But I was where I was going with the I still have my restriction was that I'll have cheat weeks instead of cheat days where I just don't give a fuck. I'll eat whatever. Like I'm just hungry, you know. So you just go through it. I was like, it doesn't matter what I eat. I'm still hungry, or I want sweets, or I really want baked goods, or whatever. I don't ever restrict myself. Once I start getting that craving, I just feed it. But that's just for me. I mean,
well, sometimes you feed the craving completely. Like you just dump it, and like you don't crave it, and that gives you those 3 days to kind of just get off of it because you're like, that's fine. I'm done with that. Me, it's like a dangerous, a slippery slope. Like I could do a lot of damage in 3 days, so I try not to. But
well, and I think that it comes down to what your relationship was with food.
Yeah.
Like I mean, we all obviously had an eating problem. Excuse me, but I don't think I was really like a food addict. Like it wasn't something that I was hoarding food or eating it in the closet. Was no way you could see me or anything. So I didn't have that relationship with food where I can't have some and be all right. Where like an alcoholic can't have like a shot and be all right.
Right. Yeah. No, I got you. Yeah. I think I think about Jim, and Jim did comment in here, he got, he hurt his leg. He couldn't do a lot of working out, which scares me because I hurt my shoulder and the same thing happened. Right. And then immediately I started gaining. Right. And like Jim was saying, like, hey, 35 pounds of regain at 7 years out. And he's like struggling for every pound to get it back off, and in addition, he's limited on what kind of exercise he can do. I mean, I know he's working hard to get it off and he's doing a good job, but I'm like, he's admitting like what I fear. It's like you get the further out you get, the more your body gets used to this lifestyle, and the trickier it is to lose weight. So, yeah.
See, and I hate commenting on anything now if I'm not there yet, because I seem to always be wrong. But I think that to a certain extent, it's a matter of you start learning how to eat around it. You know what I'm saying? You start learning what kind of sweets, what kind of high carb breads, what kind of pastas, what kind, like what things you can actually eat and your body tolerates well. And I think that you let those creep into your diet more than so much the tool failing you. I don't know if that's necessarily the case 5 years out or 10 years out, because I'm not there. But
I think your point being is that the longer you go out, the more you find things that don't, like your body tolerates pretty well. Right. And there happen to be the bad things that are bad things
so you can
they're not bad, but they're bad for you. You know what I mean?
Right. So, and you can start soothing with those, and you can overdo it with those, and that comfort that you used to reach for, to like that feeling you got when you ate a whole pizza.
Right.
Was usually guilt and wallow and, what did I do? And then you eat another bucket of ice cream to feel better about the pizza you just ate. But I just think it's one of those things that you find those things that meet that craving and they soothe you, and then you start doing it. Oh, I can eat this junk food. Right. Like the first thing I could ever eat was Tanya's muff. The first breaded anything I ate that didn't make me sick was one of those muffalata things.
Oh, so good.
And that was the first thing that I ate, and I didn't like throw up after eating more than like 2 or 3 bites. So if that was always around, I could easily start eating on that, and then you just boom, boom, boom. It goes up quick. So yeah, I think that I don't know that the tool necessarily fails you after so many years as much as you fail the tool. No offense, James. I could be wrong.
No. Yeah.
That's just my thought.
No, I think it just scares me. Like I've seen, and again, whether it's because you find foods that work around the tool, or you start learning how to eat around the tool. Like eat one little candy bar out of the candy dish, and then 2 hours later you have another one. 2 hours later you have another one. 2 hours later you have another one. Oh, I can have 2. Well, I'll have 2 every 2 hours. Like whatever it is. I'm just using me as an example. Like I have had those days where I'm like, and I know I'm doing it. I'm not hungry. I'm not hungry at all. Like I just want that taste. Right. And then and I do catch myself, which I mean it's good because at least I catch myself. Before I wouldn't even thought twice about it. But like I get stressed out about something and then I want to eat. And I'll be like, no, I'm not hungry. Like I will catch myself doing that. I'm like, let me go drink 32 ounces of water, see how I feel after that.
Yeah, but that doesn't do the same thing. I'm trying to look for a pad of paper because I'm thinking of stuff while you're talking, and then I forget it by the time we get back.
No, and I'm just saying that like, for me, those are like the little stop gaps I put in to catch myself from doing stupid shit. They don't always work. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. But yeah, I mean, at least I never would have made that catch before, and then you add the fact that the tool gives me restriction, and then I start eating things, and I try and say, okay, well, instead of eating that, let me go eat some chicken, which I know is going to make me feel too full, and I'll stop. Like if I can just catch that 50% of the time, I'm 50% ahead of the game, and I can't eat as much as anyway. So when I do fuck up, I can't eat that much of it, and I don't fuck up as often because I'm aware of it. I'm not saying that always is better. It doesn't mean I don't stop and go like, I had a stressful day. I'm going to go stop at the liquor store and get some liquor tonight and have a drink. Or I'm going to
have a bottle.
I'm not quite that bad, but or I'm going to have I'm going to go get a little tiny Ben & Jerry's, the little one. I'm going to have one of those. You know, like I'll do it still. I don't need to, but it will happen. I'm not going to, I just try and think, okay, instead of buying a pint, let me buy the little tiny one, you know, or
not me. I'll buy the pint and I'll eat the whole fucking thing.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm worried about.
I do. Well, and so what? I mean, really, if you think about it, let's say you grab it and you eat a pint of Ben & Jerry's ice cream. That's 1,500 calories. So that's nothing. It really is nothing. If you worked out even a little bit that day, or you only ate a couple 1,000 calories for the day, if you eat that, you're not even going to gain a pound from that. If you see a weight fluctuation in there, it's going to be because the carbs are going to suck up some water. You'll see it for a week and it's going to drop 15. So that's what I'm saying is you can indulge like that and it's not going to hurt anything. You could even do that 3 times a week and you're going to be okay if you got some working out in there. The problem is if you do it 5 times a week or you do it twice a day, you know, it's not having a soda every once in a while. It's having soda 3 times a day. You know, it's about learning the moderation that we couldn't do before surgery. You know,
I think it's just mentally, there's a mental game for me there. So it's like, oh, I had it yesterday and it didn't hurt me. I'll have it again today. Oh, it didn't hurt me either. Yeah. Like, I'm not saying I will. I worry I will. So therefore, like it's a preemptive strike, if you will. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's a game in my head. I know it's in my head though. Like I 100% know it. Like I know that's all going on up here. It's not down here. Like,
yeah, but we've been saying that for like a year and a half now.
No, I think I'll be saying that till the day I die. I don't know that I ever get past it. Like I was out at the water park, you know, shirt off. I got so burned. I'm so fucked up right now. I'm peeling everywhere. It's disgusting. But I was out there at the water park. I put the sunscreen on. We were walking around the water park all day, no shirt, which for me, a huge deal. Even with the loose skin, I still get a little weird about it. But you know, Emmy was saying, she's like, I could see you're uncomfortable. I'm like, I know, but that's not going to go away. The only way that goes away is if I just do it. Like the more I do it, the less sensitive I'll be about it, and the more comfortable I'll be about it. So, I don't think I'll ever get 100% comfortable, but I'll be more comfortable. You know.
Yeah, I don't know.
I was less in my head about it when I was at your birthday party. We were freaking walking around swimsuits the whole time. Like, no, I didn't think twice about it. But out in the real world. Real world with other people. But then you know, like, this is a game I play, and I play this game quite often just to kind of check myself. It's like, stop, look around. How many people here are just drop dead smoking hot? I mean, like, holy crap. You go a whole day, maybe see 1, 2. Like, I mean, come on, man. The real world's full of real people, and when you really compare yourself to real people and not some idealistic thought of what a perfect woman is or a perfect man is, you're going to realize that you're not that bad. Like, you're doing just fine, you know? Like, so I don't know. It's just a fun little game I play.
Yeah. And I mean, that's the idea of it. We're all that way. And like me, because I'm in the gym all the time with these guys, you know, and I'm with 22-year-old pro athletes. These guys have 2% body fat, you know what I mean? Like, so it's hard to, cause you know, we're wearing rash guards, you know, so you're wearing skin tight clothes and you're rolling around, and I mean, you feel like the fat old dude, man. I mean, you just can't help it. You are what you are, I guess. But but then I think about, well, you know, I start thinking about other guys I know that are 40, 45, you know, those middle-aged guys. I'm like, well, maybe I'm not doing so bad.
Yeah, I do compare myself to other guys my age, and I go, I ain't doing too bad. Like, I'm doing okay. You know, like, but I got to stay. You know, if I want to stay there, I do have to be diligent about it. So,
well, I think that you should. I mean, always strive to be the best you can be, health or whatever. But again, it's about. I say again because I've said it in every show I think I've ever done. Is just that it's about finding that spot where you're happy and you can do everything that you want to do. So. You're not going to ever really be happy with your body. I never thought I'd be back down to 12% body fat, but here I am. And I still freak out because I got 2 inches of loose skin right here that there's nothing that can be done about it. You know what I mean? Like, am I going to get surgery? Absolutely not. So it's there forever.
Yeah, I think about that too. Like, well, I live with this, or
yeah,
I don't. So I mean, either I get that or I spend 10 grand and I get surgery. Like,
right.
And 6 weeks off the gym, and that means 6 weeks of real super clean eating and super
But before you do that, I think you should really take time with yourself and your body. Everybody should do this and take time in the mirror and look at everything you don't like about yourself. I know everybody's supposed to be positive. Look at all the things you love about yourself. But look at everything you don't like about yourself and then go, well, what's a tummy tuck really going to do overall? You know what I'm saying? Like, you get tummy tuck, there's going to be something else. Oh, I didn't notice that bump there because I had the flap of skin over. Now I got to get that removed. Oh, my God, I'm starting to get a little cellulite, a little injection, a little suck, a little tuck. Oh, I'm getting, you know what I mean? Like,
I mean, even Lauren, I think to mention this in her post-plastics video, she got to the point where she's like, she was being very realistic about it. And I thought that was very honest of her to be like, hey, now that I've had it, there's still other stuff I'd like to change. Like, she just admits basically what you just talked about. That is real. Like, and she acknowledges that. And I think Tanya's acknowledged that to some point too. So it's like, like you got to baseline it, right? Like, you got to be like, yes, I think I'd feel more comfortable with my, if I had all the loose skin removed around my midsection when I was in a swimsuit or something. But I'm still not going to like every little thing about my body, the way my rib cage is shaped, or the way where my, this falls, or how hairy I am, or whatever. Like, there's always something that you're going to be like conscious about. So yeah.
So I just don't think it's going to fix that. Now, if you have, I don't think there's anything wrong with anybody getting it.
No, I don't either. Yeah,
I think it's fine if anybody. Just for me, what I'd have to give up to get it, like, I wouldn't be able to do jiu-jitsu for probably a year, maybe longer. To be able to move like that.
I worry about that. I do think about that.
I don't think that'd be a long time. So to me, the sacrifice for it just isn't. Now, if that was the only thing it would take to make me have a perfect body, then yes. But I know that that's not the case.
No, I'm with you. I'm right on that. Like, well, because I will say one thing. Like, I saw how happy Lauren was afterwards. Like, I mean, I didn't take this into account, right? I didn't take in the mental positiveness that the physical change made for her. Like, I never would I be that much happier if I had that done? Like, then it might be worth it. Like, it might be worth taking 6 weeks off and eating real clean. Like, if it really made me feel that much better about life and myself and that much more positive, and I'm not putting words in her mouth, but like, she has a certain spark about her now that you can tell she's really glad she did it. Like, like that really was like the piece de resistance of her whole journey. Like, that was like, I got all the crap off and then I fixed the things I didn't like, and now I'm able to start accepting who I am the way I am.
Mm-hmm.
And there was something to that. There's some kind of like mental benefit there that just put her over the top, where she just is like on fire and glowing all the time every time she posts something. Would that happen for me? I don't know. I don't think so, but I never took it into account that it was possible. Like, I always thought it would just be a physical thing. I never thought of it as a mental thing. So I don't know. I don't want to discount it for anybody. If you think it's going to make you happier, do it. But I'm not judging. Go for it.
Yeah.
I just don't know that I'm there yet. So
we're talking more present. Let's travel back in time again.
Let's go back in time.
Let's go way back in time. So I remember having a conversation with you about before I was thinking about having surgery. It was when I was still on my way up on the weight scale. And I'd asked you about surgery, and you said, no, there's no way I could take that risk because of my kids.
Yeah.
Do you still feel like that was right at the time, or do you wish, I should have just got done way back then?
I mean, knowing what I know now, it's easy to say that, right? So,
right.
And I didn't know about the VSG either, which, I was always struggling with. You had two choices: band or the gastric. And gastrics, I know a lot of folks who've had it, RNY, and they probably wouldn't say this, but it's so much more. You're changing the input and the outputs, and then you're changing a lot of the internal plumbing. And that freaks me out. And the band was something that was foreign inside your body. That freaked me out too. So I think given those two realities, I was never going to be comfortable with those two per se. Given my knowledge. And then when you but I really started looking at that band. I mean, when you and I started talking about it, I started getting real okay with that band.
Yeah, because I was like, dude, I'm telling you, this might not, because I remember John Daly got it, and I was like, dude, if fucking John Daly could lose weight with this thing,
Yeah.
anybody could lose weight with this thing.
Right. And I was like, but I
you
still
did the seminar. Remember, you did the seminar, then I did it, and then I called you, and I'm like, dude, did you hear about this sleeve thing? And then we started talking about the sleeve.
Yeah.
We were both lap band until we went to the seminars, right?
Exactly. And when I saw the sleeve, I'm like, this is everything I want. This is no messing with the input, no messing with the output. I can still eat whatever I want in small quantities down the road. Like I can learn, like I don't have to give up this or that. I'm not going to have these. Again, this was limited knowledge, you know, so if you had RNY and I'm saying something stupid, I get it. I know that's not the right thing now. But then it was like, oh, I'm not going to be able to ever have sugar. I'm going to get sick if I do. And, you know, all these things like I'll never be able to eat that thing again, even in a small quantity. But the sleeve was like, the other thing about the sleeve I really like is you could do all that stuff. It's just a smaller stomach. But the thing I liked about it is, it sounds so weird, but you still had to work for it. Like not that you don't have to work for it with RNY, but like you really had to like keep on your game. Like this is about 100 to 150 pound lost tool, but you still you're still going to have to really work on it. And there was something about still being invested in doing the hard work. And again, I am not negating the hard work on the other things at this point. But at that time, remember, we're back in time. I felt like that was like, ooh, it's a challenge. Still a challenge. You still have to work for it. You still have to do the heavy lifting. I like that. Like I like the fact that it's not there is still some heavy lifting. Now I understand that there's much more heavy lifting with the band, and there's still quite a bit of heavy lifting with the RNY too, of course. But I see now that they're for different situations too. So
I think I would have. If I would have known about it and I would have had the option, I would have done a duodenal switch. Now, for me, I don't think my outcome would have been any different. I mean, I think I went as successful as you can get with weight loss surgery for me. That's how I feel. But especially if you have to lose beyond that 150-pound range or, you know, you need that quick extreme weight loss or BSG didn't work for you, then I say look at the duodenal switch. Just for whatever reason, I feel like that is the best surgery.
Yeah, isn't there a lot of
now.
I think there's a lot of malnutrition concerns around that one though, isn't there? Or is that the one? Or
well, it's with both of them. It's with both RNY because it's the same thing. It's kind of like getting BSG and gastric.
Yeah,
you're like getting is pretty much the DS and they're switching but both those, because you're messing with the intestine and the flow of things, that's where I think malnutrition comes in. And that was one of the things that kept me away from RNY is because I heard these horror stories about malnutrition where people would just waste away. Like they couldn't do anything to get these people proper nutrition or things coming loose, or like he said, the dumping syndrome where people are getting sick because they had a little bit of sugar and carbonation, you know, everybody. I mean, even VSG carbonation was like, if you drink, you might as well eat plutonium if you drink carbonation, you know, like it was the scariest thing in the world to drink carbonation for the first time. They have you so scared about it. But anyway, that's what kept me away from RNY. It just seemed too extreme. Like I was like, I don't think I didn't need to lose enough weight to go that route. I think that's something, like you're saying, over that 150-pound range. Now, there's people who are just fine and lose 300 pounds with the sleeve. I'm not saying you can't, but
oh no, we've seen it done. I mean, I just think this is the way I look at it now. If you're looking at doing it, while you're watching the show, I'm not sure, but if you're looking at doing it, I would say, you know, 70 to 120 pounds, you could probably get away with the band, although I would discourage anybody from the band still. And I know there are people who are successful with the band, and I'm not taking anything away from them. If anything, I'm giving them mad props because
Banded Wendy. Yeah, look up Banded Wendy because she's done real well.
She's awesome. Banded Wendy is doing awesome with it. I think it's a shitty tool to this day. I'll stand by that. I think it's just a shitty way to go. Like it's not it is a shitty tool, and you have. I think that people I know that have had it done, most of them are not Banded Wendy's, but Banded Wendy's killed it with it. Hands down. So you can do it. So I'm not saying it can't. I'm saying I think that the BSG is probably the sweet spot.
That's the exception. That's like people like Wendy that did well with it are very exception based. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think VSG, if you're really like 100 to 150 pound mark, if you're over that 150 pound mark, man,
you can do it.
Think
but
you can do it. I mean, Sarah's done it. Sarah did it.
Yeah.
But I would say start looking at RNY at that point for sure. That would be my advice. Or
I would
DS.
say look at DS.
Yeah, if you're in the plus 200, DS I think is the way to go for sure. For sure.
One thing you do not ever look at is a fucking pump where you turn it on and it pumps the shit out of your stomach.
Right. Or the tongue, or the taser in the stomach, or the tongue patch. None of those things should be considered. So.
No, but
yeah,
the fact that
I'm going to be a gluttonous pig and then drain it out of me after, like you will get no sympathy from me. This is not me going back to like making a comment that I'm going to regret 10 years from now. That is you have a problem. If you mentally are okay with that, you actually need to get some mental counseling first. Like
it's kind of like, because you think about back in the day, there was always the myths, the wise tales about the vomitoriums in Rome, where they tickle the feathers so they throw up so they could go eat more. That's all that pump is. That's what you're doing. You're just so you could eat more. You know what I'm saying?
That's like in that Hunger Games where they would eat, they'd gorge themselves and they'd take a pill, they'd go throw up and come back and do it again while people are starving out in the countryside. Like that something's wrong. Mentally you need to get
I know what you're saying,
attention. Like I mean
it's an eating disorder. It's an eating disorder.
Yeah, that is a warning sign that you probably need to consider maybe discussing with a professional that you might have an issue. I'm not judging. I'm just saying you might want to look into that.
Hey man, it's FDA approved. It has to work.
Yeah, it's safe. It must be safe.
It has to be safe if the government approves it.
I mean, how sexy is that? Look, man, I'm in a new relationship. I'm in a new relationship at 44, so I'm already 44 body, and then I got loose skin. It was a little intimidating in the intimacy stage. I'm not gonna lie, but how do you explain a pump that throws your food out when you open the valve? Like, I don't.
Excuse me, I need to go throw up real quick. But I could see like teenagers doing it. Like, oh, did you get your valve? Yeah, I got a gold one. I got a platinum.
How do you
I could totally see kids doing this.
Sorry, my valve leaked. That's just chewed up, acidy, whatever pizza.
It is. Oh my god, it's not just a disgust factor. It's revolting from from a moral standpoint. Just from as a human being standpoint.
Oh yeah, no, I just no. So wrong.
Well, and then for me too, the thing with the skin and all that is I'm married and all that. I'm not out in the dating world, so I just have to make sure Jenny go. Are you happy with what you see? But is she ever gonna be like, no? Because when I weighed 350 pounds, you look good.
Yeah, I mean,
is that the call?
No, I'm just checking. No, it's
not the call.
It's
Lauren calling to say thank you so much for saying all those sweet things about me, Phil.
Oh, was it?
Is that who it was?
Oh no, you asked. No, that was not. It was somebody else. No.
So then that's the thing that's where you start seeking not interest, but you want other people to tell you that you look good because your significant other, like I said, when you were 350 pounds or in my case 350 or 400, whatever your weight was, they thought you looked good then. I mean, when we got together, I was fat already, so it wasn't like I was skinny and then got fat.
Yeah.
So.
And I don't think like I said, I think a lot of it's even now, it's just me. It's my head. It's not just like I would think. Like I have friends who never had weight problems, but they had babies, and then afterwards they're like, "Oh, my body's just like all wrecked and whatever." I'm like, "No, you look awesome. What are you talking about?" But to them, they see
because they see the stretch marks now,
and where their bodies used to be. Like, I mean, I get it. I totally get it. Like I whatever, but. So I think once you realize everybody's got that, like normal people have that. So having it's no different. It's like,
that 10 pounds or 15, that's the fight that everybody fights. That's the little ground everybody fights. That extra weight you pick up during the holidays, that's what normal people do. Everybody picks that up. And that's why the gyms make $1 billion in January, because everybody wants to go lose that 15 pounds. Right. So, I mean, 15 pounds, 20 pounds, 25 pounds is not 80 pounds. 30 pounds isn't. I mean, I regained all the way back to 250. I got all the way back up to 250. It was a lot of it was swelling, but I mean, I could attribute it to a lot of things. But either way, I was back to 250. I was like, fuck, I'm 250. But my clothes still fit kind of all right. But I was like, no, just, dial it back a bit. And it took a little while. It took probably 4 months, 5 months, and then got back down to it. But you start working a program if you get that regain. And fuck, I'm dipping into your guys' show, huh? You guys are going to talk about this on Thursday, aren't you?
Yeah, I know we are. We're going to talk about. Well, I think we're going to talk more about how do you mentally keep your shit together when that happens. I think is what I think we're really going to talk about.
You're going to be the 4 that are going to tell people how to keep their mental shit together.
The 3. There's not even 4 of us.
Oh, that's a 3.
You left us. There's only 3 now.
That's right. Yeah, no, you would lose all credibility if I was on that. No, yeah, that should be a good show. Yeah, so I didn't want to dip into that too much, but I'm just, those little things I'm trying to think about, because my 3-year is my ending point. All right, that's my official stop with WLS, and that was planned at the very beginning. I said, 3 years. I'll keep track for 3 years, and that was because Big Nick VSG had he had a 3-year mark, and was what convinced me to see him after 3 years still looking good. That's what convinced me to have the surgery. But so 3 years, it's like, bam. So I'm like, what do I want to say in my 3-year thing? So anyway, anybody who's watching, you can throw some suggestions. What do you?
I think that's great. I think for TJ's 3-year, you guys go to Fat Kings. You can comment on this video actually on YouTube, and questions for TJ's 3-year. This will be the video you want to comment on. He'll go look at this video to get the questions, and then he'll address them in that'll be his. But that's
my
that is it.
Finale. Yeah.
We're kind of talking like this is kind of, it sounds weird, but it's kind of like the last Fat Kings Friday, really.
Yeah.
Because by the time you get to because the way our schedule's been lately, I mean, the chance we're going to do another one before you hit your 3-year mark is slim. So
I don't see that happening.
Yeah, I don't know what happens with Fat Kings, but we'll see. It fades away. It goes to sleep for a few years and then it comes back. It goes to sleep for a few years, it comes back. So we'll see.
Yeah, because it did. It was a long hiatus, right? It went years, like almost 10 years or something. We went a long ass time, but we always come back. I'm thinking that whole skeptic point thing is kind of jiggling around in my head still. Still might do that. I don't think I'll get away from doing YouTube. I still need to feed that beast, feed the narcissism. It needs a little food and water every once in a while. So
it's funny though, because you and I were talking before the show started, and it's like the second anything else comes up. Takesha just joined in. Hey, Takesha.
Hey.
Yeah. So anything else comes up, it's like,
I'll miss that.
Like, this is what I did all this shit for. I'm going to Waterworld. I'm not going to be available to record that night. I'm going to, I'm going to Elitch's with my kids or whatever. Like I'm going to go live life. So sorry, I'm not available to record that night. Or hey, I'm not going to do an update this week because I'm too damn busy doing other stuff. Like, that's why we did all this. Like, I have to stop every once in a while and look around and go like, this house exists because I made that choice to do, not the weight loss thing necessarily, but I made a choice at some point last year because of what I did and because of the life choices I made. This is why I'm where I'm at. And that's what I need to acknowledge and take care of, not worrying about, I don't feel like I'm leaving people behind by not contributing back to the community. I feel like I've done my part for the community. If I can still contribute, great. But I expect other people to kind of pick up that mantle, especially for the folks who are in the losing thing. Because you do need to kind of build off, like somebody, you lost 2 pounds this week, good job. And you're like, so-and-so and so-and-so. Look at all these people that are like counting on me to lose 2 more this week. And it helps. It does help. So to where now I can kind of do that with I guess I could get an accountability partner just like in Tanya or in you or in somebody and be like, hey, we're both going to try and drop 20 pounds or 10 pounds, whatever. Let's start this week and we'll just check in with each other this week. I don't need to check in with the whole world it's going to take me 10 weeks. Or to Mel's point, because Mel just said, hey, the other option is instead of trying to eat super clean for 10 weeks to lose 10 pounds, maybe eat 90% or 80% clean for the 6 months and lose 10 pounds. You can do it that way too, So maybe you don't have to be militant. Maybe you can go into the gray, if you will. So
just slow and steady and enjoy life. And man, I don't know. I think that Facebook is a necessary evil during the losing. There's a lot of necessary evils during the losing process. The losing process is a very evil process, not a good process. But I think it's important. Now, I'm not saying there's anything wrong if you decide you want to stay around, right? Like Mama Rose, love her to death. She's been around for like 12 years or something. You know what I mean? Like forever. Nothing wrong with that. Tanya been around for what, like 5 years, right? 5 years?
5 years.
Kirk been around forever. You know what I'm saying? I mean, there's people around Corey forever. There's a lot of people out there who've been around for years and years and years, and that's fine. But I think on top of that, start supplementing some real people.
Yeah.
I still say that Facebook friends are not real friends. They aren't. You don't build the same bonds. Your bonds are built around comments, likes. You know what I mean? Like that's how you build your relationship. So like me and you picking up the phone and calling each other every once in a while to touch base for us, that's all it takes. But if your whole relationship with somebody is fostered on Facebook, then your only communication is if I liked on something or if I commented on something. So if I don't, then it seems like maybe I'm being a bad friend, or I might feel like you're being a bad friend, or, oh, you're not giving me enough attention. That's because of the way the relationship is formed on Facebook. So whatever, you can have that and keep that, but you start forming bonds with humans outside of Facebook.
Yeah, I kind of think that's true. I do see that. I do see people who are like, well, if you're not, I'm not naming names or anything. I'm just saying, if you, I see people like, or if you stop liking on their stuff, or you stop being available to like on their stuff, you're out at the water park. They kind of just stop communicating with you too. And they just stop. Yeah. And it's not and they may be in a spot where they need this. So I'm not judging, but they need that feeding to get through whatever they're going through in that moment, whether it's maintaining or it's losing or it's whatever. They just need that constant positive. And you do get addicted to that, during the losing phase. I get that. I do get where that comes from. But at some point, if you don't transition away, it's harder and harder to maintain that. Because you're not in the losing phase. It's harder and harder to get that positive reinforcement, and you will start to fail because you won't be getting the love. The beast will not get fed, to your point. And in the same way, you have to make those human connections to where if I'm really having a shitty moment, I can still reach out to you, to Tanya, to Mel, to Kirk, and I have, many times reached out and said, hey, these things are bothering me. But there's also other people in my life. There's my girlfriend. There's my kids. There's my, my friend Bill, there's my friend Pat, there's my friend John. There's other people I can reach out to just for life stuff too. They're not all associated around weight loss per se. So, and you want to make those connections. You want them to be deeper and with fewer. Am I digging a grave here? I mean, you want them to kind of be with fewer people that are closer to you, and that. And
it's just a different kind of. Yeah, it's just not the same. It's just not the same thing. But I've maintained that through. From day one, I always felt that I've always contended that Facebook friends they're not real friends. Now, if you've met and you've hung out and your relationship has extended beyond Facebook, then yeah, you could call somebody a friend. But I mean, this Facebook friends are not the same thing as real friends. They're just not.
However, our Facebook friends are awesome because all the people that put pictures, when you said I have too lazy to make a graphic, I was rolling. On how creative some people got.
Well, I was like, I don't remember taking a picture of my underwear in that, and then I was like, oh, that's Phil's legs.
Jim had a slow day. I'm telling you, he did a great job.
He had an unusual amount of pictures of us. I assume he probably just grabbed them from the photo album, but
and they just commented to put text on them. But yeah, so it was. And some of those pictures, you really see even after we lost a lot of weight, we've come even further. I'm like, holy crap! I was like. Yeah, man, it's crazy. I don't know. It's funny, but there were some good pictures in there. I was dying. So good job.
It'd be cool to be able to. I wish that I could be me and watch my 3-year update to know that that's where I was going to be in 3 years.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then it's how do you convey that to somebody who's watching your videos? And I think that's something that people who make videos going forward keep that in your mind is you want to convey the feeling of what you're going through to that person so they know what it's like, so they can, take that step, make that leap of faith to get the surgery because how good I'm feeling. And, if you feel like the weight I've lost looks good or whatever, that's you. That will be you sitting there in 3 years and all you gotta do is just follow the program.
And I mean, also, if you look at one of my videos and you see me whining and bitching, and you're like, dude, you've killed it. What are you whining and bitching for?
One of them.
Remember that. Like, I mean, realize that I made it. And, you know, I probably shouldn't be bitching as much about the little things, but you will always be focused on this for the rest of your life. Like, you can't just, it's not a magic bullet. You're going to lose the weight if you do the work. Absolutely. Hands down. If you do the mental work, you'll maintain the weight. But that's where it gets tough, and that's where it gets tough. Because like TJ said, oh, well, you know, I can eat this and it doesn't bother me. Well, I can eat it every day too. You know.
Yeah.
Pine ice cream goes down too because it melts and goes right down. You know, like.
Well, and something
with yourself. You know.
Something else that I was doing whenever I got into like a regain cycle was I was finishing everything that was on my plate. But I couldn't eat it all in one sitting. So like I was real bad because I work at home, so I'm sitting at my desk. And I have my dinner and I'm doing emails and I'm eating and I get full and I set my plate next to me. And I go be doing emails and then I just snack and eventually I've eaten all that food. So I'm just pretty much grazing throughout the day. So make sure, you know, to get small portions, eat it. As soon as you get full, take it, put it in the fridge.
Put it in a bag.
Do whatever.
Put it in the back of the fridge. And put it in the back of the fridge because later, you're gonna go. You'll be like, "Oh, there's that piece of chicken I didn't finish." Or and it's the breaded piece of chicken you didn't finish. It's not the chicken you should have had to begin with. You know what I mean? Like so, yeah. Put it out of sight. Just get it out of the way. You know, like.
Yeah. That just popped in my head. We were talking about it. Well, so is there any more? You said that there was questions. Is there more questions or just
comments? Pretty much for the rest of the stuff. So yeah. So.
I don't really have much else. Oh, future. What does the future hold? Right. I talked about because the whole idea was a past, present, future. I'm sure you guys got that from the awesome graphic I did in 2
That actually was pretty good. I like that graphic. Those are
the two pictures I think
of when I think of us fat, though. I think of you laying on the floor, like just slothed out, like and then me in that chair. Like I just, yeah.
I always think of you sitting in that chair because I don't ever remember you looking like that. But I knew you whenever you got that picture.
We worked in the same room building, yeah.
But I don't remember it.
It's crazy.
But and that's like I got my blue belt. I was saying in the background, got my blue belt. Whenever I got my belt, they gave me a wristband. So got my belt promotion. Yes, that's exciting. Now I'll be that for at least 2 years. If I do everything right in 2 years, I might move up. But I won't get it.
You're getting older every year, so
yeah. I mean, well, I don't have anything else, but it was a fun ride, and something else will come around.
Yeah, man. I've said it before. I'll say it again. I really appreciate you bringing up the whole WLS thing to me when you did, because I was right at that spot where I was like, okay, I just got to make this 10 more years, get these kids out of school, and then whatever happens. Like, that's it. This is just my fate. This is the way I'm going to live. This is my life. And if you hadn't like kind of been the one to kind of like jump on board when you did, I mean, if your journey hadn't come to the same place at the same time, I don't know what I'd have done, man. I was really on the verge of looking at lap band, but I don't know that I would have. I don't know how far I would have taken that, really, if you hadn't really kind of like started pumping the VSG thing. Like that really got me kind of like, it felt right. It sounded right. I was still scared. Don't get me wrong. I'm still like, well, shit. I mean, do I need to be here for the next 10 years for sure? Or do I need to be here? Or do I take this chance and maybe have longer, and let alone a better quality, So crazy that 3 years later, here I am. It's nuts. And then that was way before that was at least 7 months before I had surgery, because I had to do the 6-month supervised thing, probably 8. So it's almost been 4 years. It's crazy. So
right at the end of that, it messed up again.
Is
it all low again?
Tranquilizing the neck again. Good time.
I'll be right back. Well, actually, you could just take us out. It'll be a good way to go out.
That's right. So TJ got hit in the neck with a tranquilizer dart. So hey guys, thanks for tuning in. Again, not planning on making any more Fat Kings, at least for now. I mean, maybe it'll evolve into something else. Maybe we'll bring back some of the other Kings and just do kind of like Where Are You Now kind of video or something. But I don't know what we're gonna do. But anyway. Still be around for 50 Shades, myself anyway. TJ may make a guest appearance once in a while. Who knows what the future may hold? But yeah, I think he's kind of hit the end of his rope. You get his 3-year video next month. Send him questions on this video. get a comment and question on this video for his 3-year. Tag it TJ 3-year and then your question. And then that's it. So thanks, guys, for the journey. Until next time, remember, it's good to be the king.